Yep, I've got to agree, this new YouTube policy sucks. It's bad. It is, as Tommy says, this is just the first step to more censorship. I can't imagine that they're going to leave it to just downrating videos for very long. And frankly, you know what? I don't give a shit about the downrating of videos. If they just left it at that, you know, we could say, you know, it sucks for the principle of it, but it really doesn't stop our free speech. It penalizes it in a way that may mean something to some people and not mean shit to other people. But it doesn't stop it. But you see, I don't believe YouTube would leave it at that. I think they're going to take it a step further later. And why are they doing this? Well, basically so kids don't see this. In other words, once again in this country, we are oppressing the freedom of adults to benefit or protect children, when in actuality it's the parents' job to protect the children, not YouTube's and not ours. All right? They should not be, I mean, if a 12-year-old is on YouTube looking at videos, whose fault is that if that kid runs across somebody saying fuck? Is it my fault for saying fuck? Is it YouTube's fault for hosting my video? No, it's the parent of that 12-year-old. It's their fault for not monitoring their child. There are enough programs out there to keep little kids off. By the time a kid's old enough to know how to get around those net nanny type programs or hack them, you know, to defeat them, they're old enough to hear the shit anyways. They're hearing it in school anyways. I mean, you know, this is totally retarded. However, I gotta say this. There's been a lot of reaction videos to this, and I gotta say some of them are really stupid. I've seen some asinine shit out there. Like, there's one YouTube user who was claiming that YouTube is a public utility, and therefore doesn't have the right to limit free speech. YouTube's not a public utility. I mean, I think he said something about, you know, because it replaces other forms. YouTube might be an alternative to, say, other forms of free speech, such as the soapbox. But it doesn't replace jack shit. YouTube hasn't replaced the television. It hasn't replaced the soapbox. It hasn't replaced anything. It's an alternative, and this type of online video stuff is a better alternative to television and things. But it's not a public utility. That's an asinine fucking statement for somebody to make. And then, you know, someone suggested that somebody should file a lawsuit against YouTube, or eventually will file a lawsuit against YouTube, and it'll go to the courts. Well, this will be declared a public utility. Bullshit. All right? We are talking about freedom of speech in the spirit of freedom of speech, but not in the law. YouTube is a private company. It's not required to offer free speech. Not required. Should they? Abso-fucking-lutely they should. We should not be penalized because of bad parents not watching what their kids do. But to say that YouTube's a public utility and somebody should go file a frivolous lawsuit over this is fucking retarded. You don't have a right to be on YouTube. Hell, you're not even paying for it. I mean, if you were paying for something, then there may actually be a civil case because you're under a contract. But you're not paying for shit. There's no contract between you and YouTube, other than you will follow their rules. Now, we like Tommy said, we can go to Blip. We can go. There's other places that are actually better than YouTube. The only problem is YouTube being the first. Typical of the internet, the first is always the most popular, at least for a long time. And right now, YouTube's the most popular, and that's where we're going to get our views. The best thing to do, and the only thing to do, is we can make our objections known to YouTube. That's it. That's all we can do. Make our objections known to YouTube. Let them know that you will not be clicking sponsors' links. You will not be clicking those advertisements You're going to boycott their income for doing stuff like this. Will that work? Who the fuck knows? I mean, it might not. Basically, you're threatening to hit them in the pocket, but you know what? This is the internet. You couldn't get everybody together for a free fucking lunch, okay? So could we get them together for this? Who knows? It's bullshit. But what are we going to do? All we can do is try to let them know we don't support it. And if they continue with it, we can leave. But you can't sue.